Brenda, she came and gave us her testimony, and I enjoyed listening to it because it made me think about how can I become a better man for the world.
In January of 2020, rape survivor Brenda Tracy spoke to the College Gridiron Showcase.
This type of trauma, and it is trauma, it lives right here. Like, it just kind of lives right here. And it affects your life forever.
It takes a lot of guts to do what she did, and I mean, I don't like talking in front of 20 people, and she did it in front of, how many, like 300 people, and we're all strangers, and we're all men, and we're all football players.
The victim blaming has started. Who is she? Why was she there? What was she wearing? How many other football players has she slept with? Blah, blah, blah.
I thought it was a great idea the way that she kind of phrased her talk to target football players.
I focus on football because what's bigger in this country than football?
Sometimes we talk about the culture of football and we talk about, grit, determination, never give up attitude, the heart of an athlete, right? And there's a lot of good things that go on. But then sometimes you talk to another person and the culture is violence.
You hit the field and you can, have a controlled rage about you. Like, you can just run around and hit whatever you want. And so balancing that, in life too, it's like a switch you got to flip on, One of the hardest things is being able to flip that switch.
One of Tracy's key themes involves ensuring players have the right values top of mind once they do leave the field.
In general, respect is probably one of the things that's just kind of an overarching theme of what I talk about. Are you living an intentional life to make things better or worse for the person sitting next to you? And also empathy and compassion, right? We talk a lot about, it's not enough to just care about your own family. My sons think I deserve safety and respect, but they need other men to think that I deserve safety and respect.
We need to be more respectable of others, females, races, all of that.
A lot of locker room talk and stuff like that can turn sideways, and really just trying to shut down conversations that are talking about sexual assault or like how somebody has done something like that. Really just saying that's not right and taking a stand.
As the men Tracy addresses change their thinking on how to treat women, she hopes they'll also extend the values of empathy and compassion to their male teammates and friends.
I would love to see our young men start speaking out more about what they need, right? I think that we make assumptions about what our players need and what they're going through and what sports is and all this stuff, right? A lot of times our society thinks that all football players are strong and they're all heroes and, it's great, you're at a D1 school and you're going NFL, your life must be perfect, right? We make a lot of assumptions about who they are. And I would love to see more young men band together and talk about real life stuff that they're going through.
When I hear people say things like, oh, it happened a long time ago, get over it. That's not how this works.
Sometimes, life doesn't go the way you want it to, especially in her scenario. She kept going and she kept persevering, and with the help and love and support of her friends and family, she became something other people thought she wouldn't be able to. So that really resonated with me. I've had this anxiety since I was 10 when I got diagnosed with it. Just to keep fighting and adapting and keep pushing through, even though, it may be hard sometimes.
Brenda Tracy has pushed through a lot to get to the point where she can travel the country working to bring a new perspective to a sport that had a huge negative impact on her life.
I talk about football as the hero, right? And for me, that's been an interesting journey for me, right? Because my gang rape was by college football players. I feel like I was victimized by the football machine, and now I work within the football machine to make a difference.
And she's just calling it what it is. Like, y'all got a stereotype, and I'm here as a victim, a survivor, and I'm still trying to help you guys change this stereotype. So it really just, I don't know, it touched me deep, man. It really touched me.
You may not think that you have influence and power, but you hold a lot of influence in your lives.
You have to look out for other people and don't just be a bystander.
To step up and make a difference.
We say something, whether it's, a guy that's drunk, a girl that's drunk, and the guy, and the guy is about to take the girl elsewhere and do God knows what. You have enough power to be, stop it. And using our platform for the right reasons, definitely with her story and everything she's went through, that's huge to me.
Football could be the solution to sexual assault in this country because we do have such a powerful voice. I mean, everyone loves football.
to effect the change she envisions, Tracy views the type of education she provides as crucial. She appreciates the groups like CGS who give her an opportunity.
I tell my athletes all the time, right? How can you live your best life if nobody has talked to you about how to have a healthy relationship? How can any of us live our best life if we don't know what a healthy relationship looks like in any aspect of our life, right? So for them to bring me in, to be able to share my story, to talk to them about their own lives, mental health, behavior off the field, the impact, all these different things, that means something. It means that they care about these young men as a whole person, not just an athlete.
Tracy notes that her sessions could often extend well beyond their allotted times, as the young men to whom she speaks seek to educate themselves. She truly has an impact on their outlooks. Now she hopes they will help her ensure that when the next generation reaches this stage in their lives, the concepts she addresses won't be new information.
I think we need to start having these conversations long before this. I was actually just talking to a few men after a breakout session today, and they were telling me about how nobody ever talked to me about that. Nobody ever talked to me about that. And I thought, that's really sad. But then we also talked about how they now can say, you know what, it wasn't okay for me coming through this pipeline, and to this point, I've been failed. But what can I do for that 9th grade boy getting ready to enter the same pipeline so when he's standing here in my place today, it's different for him?